And we are live. Welcome to the June edition of the FAILSAFE Patreon monthly Q&A. We've got Jesse here with his lovely dog, Kirena. We've got Chad here, who looks like he needs to shave. And then we've got Benno, rocking the rock and roll Jesus look.
Yeah.
Shave them sideburns.
And then you've got me, Caio, here, repping all my favorite bands, my own band, and Divide the Fall, who we're playing a show with in August.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first question, we've got Doreen Elixman. So aside from Chad's empty bottle collection, do you guys collect anything? Possibly dead things, Jesse, and classic beer cans, Caio, or Oreo cookies, Benno?
How do you know about my things with Oreos? How do you know about this? Okay. No, I just eat a lot of them. I actually had like a whole sleeve of Oreos earlier today. Um, I don't collect them though. Do I collect anything?
You
Chad?
just have a giant pile of empty Oreo wrappers in the fucking corner.
Now the question is, do you dunk them in the milk while you eat them, or do you just mainline them?
I like the flavor of dunking them, but it's too messy and takes too much time. I just shovel.
All right, fair enough.
No, I don't. I'm trying to think if I collect anything. I don't think I do. Unless it's like I'm a completionist when it comes to like a series of things. So if there's like a series of books, I have to own all of them. Or if there's like a series of video games, I have to own or play all of them. So I kind of collect in that way where I have to have the whole series of something.
Yeah, I would say that I'm the opposite of Chad. Chad's like a borderline hoarder. I'm like a minimalist, where I don't really have a collection of much aside from memories, and I will not think twice when completely like buying all new stuff and throwing everything out. I'm the firm belief to make room for something new, you gotta get rid of something old. So, yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'd say I'm more of a minimalist. In fact, like once COVID started last year, I spent a lot of time trying to get rid of a bunch of shit that I just had piling up and made quite a bit of money. So
Nice.
it pays to sell shit. Who would have thought?
I collect gear. Go figure.
Yeah,
No,
you have
And
three
empty bottles.
full racks of guitars. 3 or 4, Chad.
Four-ish.
Jeez.
Stay with it.
Wow. How many drum kits do you have? 4?
Oh, that's so kind of you. It's like 7 or 8 now.
Jesus.
I'm like, yeah, sell like 4 of yours and buy a new one. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I could ever get rid of the Nickelodeon kit.
I'm never getting rid of that kit. I'll be buried with that kit.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Yeah.
Big Chad helmets.
Yes.
Chad Mick Big Dick.
Oh, good lord.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Now we've got Wanda's 4 questions that she's always got. Have you ever taught anyone how to play an instrument? Not exactly. I have given one guitar lesson in my life, and I was trying to teach like a 5-year-old girl how to fret the strings, and then she couldn't do it, and she started crying. So that was it.
You're like pathetic.
I was like, well, I literally don't know what to do now. Like, you got to be able to put your hand on the fret, and so
For a short time, well, I say a short time, it was like a year and a half. I was teaching music at a music school, so cello was my first instrument. I don't play it live super often, but I do still play. So I was teaching cello. I had a couple bass students. I had a vocal student. Depending on like some of the students that I had for a longer period of time, we actually ended up moving more into like music theory and that sort of thing, and we didn't focus so much on like playing the instrument so much as understanding the music in general. Um, but yeah, I had a couple of younger students like Caio, and then I had some older students like kind of late high school ish.
Clearly, Chad's given lessons. He's a
Well, I mean, I've given like instrument lessons to friends here and there, but I actually taught music production and audio engineering for about 9 years at two different private music colleges. So I have a vast experience in not teaching instruments, but teaching the recording arts.
yeah. I've done a lot of teaching of, I guess, songwriting strategy, some guitars, some vocals, and I really approach it from an angle of, hey, I'm going to teach you. I'm not going to just teach you how to, play Smoke on the Water. I'm going to teach you how, how to make a song, how 4-chord progressions work, give you an arsenal of chords, and then show you how they work in songs, and go that route. And I had a lot of luck, and then I had a lot of good luck giving vocal lessons to this one girl who was she was really new to singing, but she had a lot of talent, and so it was like you could kind of catch her on the ground floor, so to speak. So she wasn't learning a lot of bad habits, or you weren't having to correct a lot of bad habits, and it was a lot of fun kind of going over that and teaching her, hey, this sounds great. Your voice does this really well. It does this not so well. Focus on doing this, or if you want to really work on that, then maybe do X to strengthen that. But your niche is right here, and kind of like watching her grow and see her confidence grow as a singer. Like that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that that's like something a lot of people don't think about. Everybody as an artist in general, but as a musician too, has kind of like a niche or like one or two things that they really excel at, and to really hone those in can bring you a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've considered like actually starting like a side business giving guitar lessons. I just need to find the time for it. It's probably something I'll end up doing when I get older, and I'm probably not doing other music stuff or I'm retired or whatever. But
One of my dream projects with Chad is to like do like a dad rock boot camp where just like get like dads together, like get their song ideas and like make them into real songs, record them, get them to be able to play a show or get them a demo by the end of the week or whatever, like, something like that. I thought that'd be a lot of fun and probably money in it too.
Maybe a kid. I'd be down. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, next question. What's the best piece of advice another musician ever gave you? Mute your windows.
Yeah, that was sorry. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, I think the best advice I got was from a former bandmate. I was in a band in high school with him. He went on after high school. I kind of did my own project. He joined a different project that was more established. They were definitely more geared toward pop, and I was going more in the rock direction. And I had a lot of energy, a lot of drive and whatnot, but I just didn't really have a lot of the talent to write good songs. I really wasn't thinking about it. And then like the best advice he gave me is write good songs. And so I understood what he meant by that. And I started gearing my writing style with that in mind, and versus like riff salad or, I can rock out really hard on stage to this. And that's why I wrote that versus like, hey, I'm writing good songs. And so it kind of switched my drive in songwriting. And yeah, I thank him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember who told me. I know it was another musician, but it was like kind of a two-part thing. Like one, always play with musicians who are better than you, and you can always be a better musician.
Mm-hmm.
So playing with musicians, and that's what I've always tried to do, is play with people who are better than me that are going to push me to become better, which this band definitely has.
Maybe half of them. I don't know about me. I'm probably the weakest link.
And then always try to improve, because like the day you got it figured out, you should just stop. You know what I mean? Because you then at that point in time you've done it. What's the point?
Yeah.
So always trying to push. I always try to push myself, and it's not just as a musician, but as a producer, as an engineer, as a songwriter, composer. Always try to get myself, you know, to that next level. And it's been humbling, because there's some times where I hit roadblocks and it's frustrating, but I try to push through it. But yeah, always play with musicians who are better than you, and you can always be better. Are probably the two ones that stick with me the most.
For sure.
Yeah, I think like no one particularly like told me this like personally, but like just from seeing interviews with songwriters who I respect and I think they're really good, like the one of the things that they tend to have in common is that they don't just listen to, rock music or whatever genre they play. Like they go out of their way to go listen to music of all kinds and pull inspiration from that.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's
Hmm.
I think that's a really good thing for any musician or songwriter to do.
I think for me, Alex and I released an EP. I don't know, probably 6 years ago or something like that. This is my other band who now doesn't exist, but we released an EP, and the person producing that at some point really drove home like how important it is to keep your music simple. When you're writing, sometimes it can be really easy to overcomplicate things. So just keep it simple. And since then, that was at a time too where I was trying to like do more with my bass writing and my bass playing. Um, and after learning that, I really just kind of stuck to the fundamentals, just play the root note, make sure your rhythms are matching up with the rest of the music, but you don't really have to do a whole lot. And I will put in a fill or like an extra note where I think it'll fit, but I'm not just like noodling and shredding the whole song because it's just too much.
Yeah, it's really hard to find bassists that get that concept. Like good bassists, I guess. Like every time I'm looking for a bassist, like unless it's like someone like we ran into like you, I'm looking for a rhythm guitarist because
Right.
they know to stay in their lane versus like a good bassist wants to take it for a walk, wants to throw in things that don't need to be there,
Yeah.
and do bass solos or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
Right. And that's like the way that I look at playing bass in general is like be the foundation. Like if you're noodling all the time and like doing the extra shit that doesn't need to be in the song, you're not being a good foundation. You're not being the low end that needs to be there,
Oh yeah,
you know?
and ironically, it's like ghost notes or rests like really leave an impact too.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You
Choosing
gotta listen
when
to the
not to
notes he's
play.
not playing.
Yeah. Yep. So keep it simple.
Stupid. Okay. Have you ever participated in any music competitions? Yeah. I was in
Kyle,
a
that was your
battle.
claim to fame.
Yeah, my claim to fame.
Yeah, wasn't it like you did some at the state fair or something, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. And that wasn't a music competition per se, but it was a talent show.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, when and I did it a few different times. I competed in like county fair talent shows, just playing like solo instrumental guitar songs, that were technically impressive, I guess, like Joe Satriani and Eric Johnson, that kind of thing. And the last time I did it, which was like 5 years ago now, I think, I made it to the state fair finals, or I had to win a county fair, and then I had to go to a semifinal round and beat out 8 people in that round. Then I got to the final round and I got third place, um, which sucked because first and second place got to play on the grandstand the next day. So I just barely missed out on it. But I still won like a trophy too, but I lost to a hula hoop girl. Yeah.
You're still number one in our hearts, Caio.
Still have
Yeah,
the trophy on my dresser to this day.
I played in different battle of bands through my time, but I will go on the record and say I have not experienced a battle of the bands that was not rigged in some way or based solely off of ticket sales.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I've lost every single one because there's some that I've won in the past, but it always is a ripoff. It's like the equivalent of like the foreign model chick with zero friends adding you on Facebook. Like, oh yeah, that's totally legit. No, it's not. Delete that shit. It's definitely a waste of time in my opinion. And it's honestly it's a waste of time for everybody involved because you're basically it's like a revolving door of every band's family and friends, and most of these are like they try to like throw like 10 bands on in a day from like the afternoon to like midnight. It's exhausting for no one's going to sit there. You're not really getting any real exposure, which they'll sell you on a lot of the times. It's like, and I talked to bands in the past and said, yeah, we can do this event. I can tell you this is exactly how it's going to go. Or we can just play in front of those people, get paid for it at a different venue and not have to deal with a competition. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little salty on the whole thing because I've seen so many promoters and scams around those type of deals.
Yeah, I did a battle of the bands too when I was in college, and it was just like people voted for their friends and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like I did a really small battle of the bands one time, and the only reason we won is because we had like 10 people there, and all the other bands had like 3 people.
I think the most bewildering thing I remember in an old band is we went on. We had the most people. We had like a full light show. This was like a very accessible like pop rock project. And then the band that went after us played in front of hardly anybody. Their singer was wearing like Simpsons pajama pants. And like for half of their set, the 2 guitars were playing out of tune from one another. Like one was in drop D and one was in standard. They didn't realize it until like the set was almost over. And that was the band that one that got to play like Warped Tour or something like that. And I was like,
Can't even play in the same tuning.
like it didn't sound right. There was nobody there. Their image was not on par. Other bands put a lot more effort into it and had more professional recordings and different things like that. And fuck them. I was so confused. And like their style of music didn't necessarily fit a Warped Tour scene either, which was also very bewildering. So
I don't remember who it is. There's like one venue or like promotion company or something that used to do this battle of the bands that would judge you on like stage presence and like musicianship, and like they would judge you based on things that are unrelated to ticket sales. I don't remember. Do you guys know who that
I
is?
know that there's been some that have that scorecard, but I also know the people who are the judges or their friends of the judge, and they already made agreements with these other bands.
Oh, okay.
So it's all for show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
You're not bitter at all, Jesse, are you?
I wasted a lot of time in a lot of bands. So yeah.
We all have.
Yeah, we will never
We
be
have
in a
all
battle
been
band.
there many times.
The FAILSAFE will never be in a battle bands. I will boycott that shit.
We're above that shit now, I would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope the rest of the world is too.
How about you, Chad? Any musical?
I honestly don't think I've ever been in any. I've been in like showcases where like they try to get a bunch of different bands and you play like 3 songs and there's like 2 or 3 stages set up and you bounce back and forth. But like I don't think I've ever actually. No, I don't think I've ever been in any competition.
Huh.
He's been in a band with me for the last 5 years, and I put the kibosh on that shit.
He's had enough wrestling competition. He didn't need to add music to
That's true.
Well, I'm all competitioned out.
it. All right. Are you a Ford, Chevy, or Dodge guy?
Chevy.
I'm
I
a
don't really
German
give a
car guy.
shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
But also there's another part to this question. What would be your dream vehicle if money was no object?
Oh, I want like an old Shelby Cobra Mustang, just pure muscle and raw power that you could hear from like 6 miles away, just rumbling down the street, just shaking guts.
Just being an asshole, being
Yeah,
loud, making everyone
yeah,
go, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
that's fine. That's okay.
I'd have the opposite. I'd have a fucking Tesla. It makes no noise.
Yeah, right.
I guess I would. Well, number one, I'm a German car guy, so none of the above. Secondly, I would want the car from Batman, The Dark Knight,
The Batmobile.
the Batmobile from Dark Knight.
Of course you would.
That's my favorite car.
The one that's like made out of a tank.
Yeah, hell yeah, jumps and shit.
You're telling me you don't want the Tesla Cybertruck?
It's close, but I don't take bullets like the other one can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They came close. That's Cybertruck, man. For
right.
every Batman fan's dream.
Give it like another 10 years, I'll buy the Cybertruck then, if I have the money. So
This is if money was no object though. So you can have
that's
you
good.
could have a fucking rocket to the moon if you want and just fly it around in orbit or something, you know?
Yeah,
Mm.
true.
But the correct answer is Chevy.
God
Out of
damn it.
those three, yeah, sure. I'll give you that. Although I'm more versed on operating on Ford cars and vans and trucks because that's what we.
Because they break down more often. Exactly. You have to be more
Yeah.
versed at it.
Ford found on the road dead.
Fixed or repaired daily.
My first car was a Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, and oh man, I got intimate with the inside of that vehicle as far as like knowing how everything works and how to fix things, how to repair things, and that translated over to like the old vans we had in the old band and whatnot. And
Did you get that because you wanted to know what it was like to ride in the front seat?
this my parents were poor, and that's all we got. And I had to buy it from them or something like that. I remember.
My first car was an old fucking 1990 Buick LeSabre, older than me.
Didn't you just get rid of that car like last year?
No, that was my third car actually that I
Oh.
just got rid of. My first one, it didn't or the battery drained when it was turned off because there was like a fucked up fuse. So every time I turned off the car, I had to pull out this fuse. Otherwise, the
Same.
battery would just drain.
That sucks.
And then like the brakes quit on it after like a year, and I was just like driving around with no brakes. And I was like,
Jesus.
yeah, I gotta get rid of this thing.
Yeah. What about you, Benno?
I don't know. I have a Toyota right now, which I love because it's reliable. But dream car, I might get a Tesla SUV. I've never been someone who like I don't really need like a sports car, even though they're cool and they're unique, which does speak to me. I really like having things that like nobody else has just because they're unique. I feel like I would prefer to have an SUV than a compact from Tesla.
It's more practical for your lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that being said, I would never get a Porsche SUV. I think those are dumb.
I thought those are cool, but that's just me.
I
That's
don't
pretty
know.
close to home for Jesse there with his Audi
Yeah, right.
thing.
Audi's fine. Audi's fine. I don't know. I just think if you're buying a Porsche, like you're spending so much money already. But I guess the same could be said for Tesla. So I don't know where my priorities are.
We'll check again next month.
Okay.
All right, last question. Do you have any fun hidden talents or party tricks?
Chad has the final solution.
I used to be like a junior magician. Like I used to do little shows and stuff like that, perform card tricks and
What?
magic tricks and that
Hell
type of
yeah.
shit.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta show me some of this shit, man.
Yeah,
My God.
coin
Is that
tricks,
why you
card
bust
tricks.
out on the first date? And you're like, pick a card.
Pick this card.
There was a period in my life where I always had a deck of cards in my pocket, though.
Wow.
Yeah,
I thought that was just to scam pigeons out of money.
no,
Oh,
I mean that was legit. It was fun.
I saw
Funny
this
enough.
comic one time where it was there was this magician going to the doctor, and the doctor's like asking him like the like survey questions, like, so are you sexually active? And the magician's like, magician never reveals his secrets. And then the doctor just marks no.
yes.
Yeah.
Got him.
That's funny.
I used to be able to remember everybody's birthday in my class in school. That was my hidden talent.
I cannot remember anyone's birthday. The only people's birthday I know off the top of my head is myself, my two best friends, and my mom. That's it.
Yeah, I guess for me, I don't know if it's a hidden talent or not, but I'm a wealth of useless information.
Yes, you are.
Every commercial jingle from like the 80s, the 90s. I can remember every like movie. Simpsons, the golden seasons 1 through 13. I remember like almost every line. They really kind of blur into my regular life, and I don't even realize it sometimes. I used to know every professional football player, where they graduated college, and yeah, so just weird shit like that.
It'd be like driving by like random college. Oh, that's where fucking Tom Brady went to school or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. or like able to like recognize players like years after they played, like, oh, that's so and so, and whoever was like, how do you know that? Well, he played in like '95. Like, you still know what he looks like? Like, yeah. I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know. I guess like for our fans, probably me playing cello would be a hidden talent. I don't think very many people knew about that before today.
We need to have a cello solo for Benno.
Yeah, right.
Our next song.
Um,
I don't know how we didn't get any of that on our acoustic EP.
yeah, I told you guys about it, and it just never happened. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's like anything unusual that I can do that other people can't. I don't think there is.
Benno, the boring guy at the party who can't do it.
That's his talent.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm really, really good at applying like decals or skins or stickers, and like making them
okay.
look really good. Like they're gonna be perfectly aligned, or like screen protectors. I can do it by hand and have no bubbles, and it'll be like perfect.
So Chad had his deck of cards, and then you come to the date like, check out this sticker. I'll slap it on this table. Fucking look at it. You see any bubbles in that shit? No. It's
And I'm sitting there talking about Warren Sapp for some reason. This chick's like, get me the fuck out of here.
And then I'm like, what's your birthday? And she's like, I'll remember that 5 years from now.
I guess I don't consider like musical instruments hidden talents, but if you do, I also play trombone.
Do you still play trombone?
I can, yeah. So
I played-
That's the slidey one, right?
Yeah.
We're starting a ska band.
Oh,
No,
nice.
I hate ska.
We're starting a ska band.
I hate ska more than like anything. So
The Ska Safe.
the ska safe.
Scott. I played a clarinet in 6th grade.
Well, yeah,
Right.
but then what's his face came out. Adam Levine from Room 5 and basically rendered all clarinets useless and obsolete
Why was
Maroon
that his
5?
fault?
because he's like a human clarinet. Have you heard his voice?
Oh,
Like play clarinet and then play Adam Levine and like
Yeah, he tried to get 2 over at the Super Bowl. He tried to pull a bass
Yeah,
player
that
trick
performance
there.
was bad.
Yeah.
They usually are. They usually are.
Well, that's the last question, guys. You got any final words?
Yeah, once again, I'll say it once and I'll say it again, guys. Thank you for being Patreon subscribers. It means a lot to us. You're, like I said, helping us pay our bills, keeping our lights on. We don't need to rehash how horrible 2020 was for a lot of people, but for bands, we couldn't play, we couldn't make any money, so it was just literally us spending money to give you guys product. So thank you for supporting us and giving something back. And if you're seeing this, you're not a Patreon subscriber, please consider subscribing. Got a lot of goodies on there, everything from pre-releases to behind the scenes videos, the guitar tabs, discount VIP tickets, or just I think free VIP tickets at this point. So a lot of cool things.
Let's be honest. You spend money on dumber things. This is a wise investment.
Yeah, absolutely.
And even if the extra bonus stuff isn't that important to you, like Jesse said, it does really just help us keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure. The second thing I'll say is we are pretty close to some milestones on some of our social media sites. So if you can invite somebody to check us out on Instagram, to follow us, our YouTube, we're trying to make that a site that we can realize some monetization, and we're really close to doing it. So any help, just subscribing to us, following, or recommending us would be deeply appreciated. And we just announced some shows for the summer. For some reason, I decided to make the theme called Cruel for the Summer. I don't know, it just got in my head, and I just put that on there. So that's our summer theme, Cruel for the Summer. We have some shows. We just announced them today. If you're nearby any of those shows, try to stop in and see us. We'll have more shows in the fall, releasing more content, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, we're just on our grind doing our thing, and I hope you can be a part of it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.
Have a good
Later.
one.